Hey everybody, it's Steve and Amy from the SA Judo Academy, here to run you through another online session which you can do at home. Today we're going to build on what we did in session 1, which was the family of Seoinage. So in that session we covered 4 different attacks from the exact same original stepping. We covered a Nippon Seoinage, a Morodo Seoinage, we covered a switch step left Seoinage, and we covered a switch step Sode to Surikomagoshi. Okay, so it was 4 different attacks which all had the exact same first entry. That's all well and good, but we practiced it on a static partner. So today we're going to look at a really good drill that you can add in on your own with shadow uchi-komis, or you can do it with a partner if you've got one. And it's a great one to start looking at different positions when somebody's moving. So what we'll do is I'm going to kind of talk through each one and what we're looking to achieve from it. And then while you're at home, you can either pause the video and run them through as a shadow uchi-komi, or you can, if you're lucky enough to have a partner, you can grab the partner and you can go on through there. How much of it you do is going to depend a little bit on your level. So my advice would be, if you're only a beginner, pick one of those 4 throws and just do each of these uchi-komi drills with that one throw. If you're a little bit more advanced, add the second throw, and if you're quite advanced, you can start to look at doing all 4 throws from each position. That way you're really getting some good reps in. Okay, so the first one we're going to look at is a static uchi-komi. Okay, so this is the one we did on the other day, whenever it was. And this is the one that we all do all the time. Okay, but it's still a good warm-up drill, but it does have some problems. Okay, but we're going to use it for our very first position. So our partner's got their feet square. I have my standard judo grip. Don't forget, when you're doing your uchi-komi, it's really important that we drum into ourselves the fundamentals. So only the 3 fingers here on the balls of my feet. I'm not on the heels, I'm not flat-footed, okay? I'm getting all those fundamentals in that we tend to forget. So many people are so worried about the throw that they forget about drilling all those things. And then we're just going to look to our initial uchi-komi. So our first step is in front of their toes. Don't let the heel touch the floor. Our second step is to break that kazushi, and then we're going to come in for our uchi-komi. So what we're going to do, we covered that one the other day, so I'd like you to, if you're joining in at home, pause the video and go and run through some reps of that. If you don't have yourself a partner, you can do that one with your uchi-komi band, or you can do that as a shadow uchi-komi. 10 reps, and depending on your level, maybe 2 to 3 sets of them. If you are a little bit more advanced, let's start to look at adding in extra sets of the different throws. So once you've done your set of Nippon Seoinage, cover a set of Morodo Seoinage. Then cover a set of your switch step Seoinage, and then finally cover a step of your switch step Sode. We'll leave it with that, and then we're going to come back and look at our next drill. Okay, welcome back. Now we're going to look at starting to add a little bit of movement to this. So the first one I'm going to do is a forward and back position, because my partner's never going to stand still. So I like to use the mats because they give me a real good awareness of kind of where I am, and I like to work on it on 2 meters. So if you're at home, just a couple little marks on the floor will do it. Okay? Now what I want to make sure is happening is that everything that happens is happening because I'm causing it. So I don't want my partner just to walk backwards cooperatively. I want it to be because I'm doing it. So for example, if I'm here, I knew that Amy was going to step back with that leg because I pushed her that side. Okay, so without even telling her, she knew that that's the leg that she had to step with. So it's all these little tiny things in uchi-komi which are going to make you far better when you begin. Common thing we see with beginners is they bump into each other's feet. So everywhere that Amy moves has to be because I'm making her move there. So let's look at going backwards, and I'm going to talk you through what's different about going backwards. What we don't want to do is walk backwards, stop, and then do an uchi-komi. Because we're not doing an uchi-komi on the move, all we're doing is moving to a different area in the room and doing another static uchi-komi. So we want to make sure that we use the movement as to aid our setup. Okay? So, I'm walking, I walk normally, and then I push. And as I push, I've taken that step to the side here. So I've used what was a part of my normal walking as the first step of my attack. which is going to really really increase my speed. If I walk to here and then to here, that's a really slow way around it. Okay? So I'm moving. I step, I'm already over. As I push, I pull back to create that space. If I just push, she's going to go backwards. So I need that push and pull. Now I can do my uchi-komi. When I come back the other way, if I just do the same thing, we're going to bump into each other. So now I need to turn on the spot. So now I'm moving. When I'm ready, I've already taken this step over. So I'm stepping here. And now I can use that step. When Amy would normally expect me to step back, instead I turn behind. So without Amy here, I walk, turn. When I come back, I use that step. When I get to here and she would expect me to go here, instead I'm turning as a part of the movement. So I'm using my stepping to hide my entry. Okay? So let's go forward and backwards. Create space. In. 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 Keeping them really light, you're going to make a few little mistakes with your feet. So we're going to leave that one with you. Go back, do between 1 and 3 sets, 10 uchi-komi. Again, if you don't have a partner, the shadow uchi-komi are fine. Moving. If you're a little bit more advanced, look at adding 2 to 3 of the throws, maybe even all 4. But no, don't get too many sets out. So if you're doing all 4 throws, 1 set of each will be fine. So a set of ippon seoinage, followed by a set of the switch step, and then so on, okay? So 10 reps in each set, somewhere between 1 and 3 sets, and then come back in and we're going to look at the next movement. Okay, hopefully you went alright with the forward and backwards, and you're starting to get the hang of disguising your step in there. Now we're going to look at going sideways. This one's the one I find that people have the most trouble with, but it's also the most effective if we're going to be using it in randori. So if Amy and I are standing together, and she takes 1 step sideways, I'm going to go with her. On the second step she takes sideways, I'm going to let her go on her own. And now I'm going to use that space created for my attack. Up, in, over. So, we've both taken 2 steps. My first step matched her. My second step is my attack. As opposed to stepping with her, and now my third step having to be the attack, which is much, much slower. By that point, she's probably already stepped again. Okay? So, going one way. I've got that space. Now going back is a little bit different. If I was to step in front again, I'm going to end up over there. So this time, the weight is still here on this leg, just like it was for our static uchi-komi, but now I've got to spin that back leg in. Here. So without aiming, here, here, turn. Going back, here, my partner moves without me, stab it, boom. So that lead leg, that power leg is still super important. Just one of them we step in front and one of them we step behind. One last time with Amy. Again, if you're a bit more advanced, start adding in the different techniques. So step, step up, step, step up, here. So it took me a long time to realize what the difference was between going left and right there. So if you are struggling with it, don't feel alone with that. But what's really important is that we're doing the exact same technique left and right. That way, it doesn't matter where on the mat Amy moves to, I've got her covered. Okay? Let's leave it there for a couple of minutes, come back in, we're going to look at another different circle. Okay, welcome back. The next one we're going to cover is circles. This one's one of my favourite ones, and I tend to only do this in one direction. Okay, so the rest of them I did both ways. I'll explain a little bit why in a minute. So I've got a hold of my partner. I'm going to step to my power side. So I'm in this position here, and Amy's got her right leg forward and I've got my right leg forward and we're both fighting. And what this leg can cause me a lot of problems. When I go to turn in, she's going to use that hip and that leg to block me. And that's going to cause me a heap of bother. So I'm going to circle, and by circling, I'm going to square up her feet, and I'm going to put myself in a position where I've got heaps of power. So I'm going to step nice and close here, and then I'm going to drag with my power hand. That's squared Amy up, and it's put me into a position where I can attack, okay? So I always imagine this one being like giving a little kid a whizzy, where you spin them around, okay? I need to cut nice and close. If I went out here, I wouldn't have the power with my arm, okay? So I stay in close, pull. Stay in close, pull. Now, the most common mistake I see with this one is in this leg. People step, and then they spin that leg around. Now I'm square, and Amy's square, and before I do anything, I need to step, and that's a waste. If this leg here, I just pivot, rather than stepping, it's already in the right spot. It's already there, that first step is done, ready to attack. As opposed to here, now I've got to take that step. Okay? So that's the part most people really struggle with. Again, you can do it as a shadow uchi-komi, step, pivot, in for your attack. These same entries work with almost any forward attack, just today we're covering that Seoinage family. And again, if you do want to become proficient at these, don't just do your Ippon Seoinage, continue with your other steps. In, pivot, switch step. In, pivot, let's try that again. In, pivot, Oroto Seoinage, okay? So let's look at that circle. As I say for this one, I'll explain why. For this one, I only go here because I have that power arm I can use. If I go the other way, I've got almost no pull here. And I've just kind of jammed myself up, okay? There's a few exceptions to it, like sometimes if I'm fighting in really close, like Eastern European style, I might pull here. But for Seoinage, where we want space, for me personally, I only step to the sleeve side, drag that hander out. Work on the feet. If you're somebody who does get confused with this, rewind it and rewatch it. You don't even need a judo person to practice this on. You can get your partner or anyone else. Just get them to stand there and just get the habit of that action there, okay? We'll leave it there for a minute. Let you have a few practices, sets of 10, anywhere from 1 to 4 sets, and we'll come back in and we're going to look at another scenario. Okay, welcome back. We're going to cover our last one now, and this one is what I call a 90-degree turn. So this can happen anywhere on the mat, but it's especially predictable in the corner. So here, I'm going to use these yellow mats here so you can see, but at home, you could just put a little bit of tape on the floor to create a corner. If I stand in front of Amy, she can go this way or this way. But if I stand just off center a little bit to here, and I give her a little push this way, the only place she can go is this hole that I've created. She can't, if you know the judo rules, she can't go backwards because of the boundary here, okay? So if I've given her a little push, I know she's going to turn there. As she turns, I can meet her. The same thing goes the other way. If I cut this corner off, the only place she can go is there. And I can meet her with that backward step. So this is a really good way to appear to have far better reflexes than you do by cornering somebody somewhere where they don't have too many options as to where they're going to go. So the drill we're going to do now for your uchi-komi, stand here just off center a little bit so that you're blocking her so she can't go this way. She steps. 1. She steps back. Now I have to back step. What I don't want to do is correct and then here. I want to be able to attack straight off the go. Boom. She goes back. Again, I don't want to have to be doing too many steps. Go straight in. And back. And back. I can do the same thing without a partner. Use the lines. Imagine that they've moved. Come back out. Imagine that they've moved back. Back out. So have a look at that one. Same deal. Sets of 10, 1 to 3 sets. Using that 90-degree and really envisaging being the reason that they can only go there. If I stand in front, they can go anywhere. So really be the reason that's where they can go. And that way, the moment they step there, you're ready to throw. Okay, welcome back. That's as far as we're going to go today as far as the drills go. Each of those positions basically sum up every way that somebody can move. We can do that anywhere on a competition mat, but in particular, just to give you a bit of an idea, the edges are fantastic to force somebody's reaction. We've just covered the one here on the corner. We're just going to really quickly show how each of the exercises we did today can be used on the edge. So, firstly, the straight backwards one that we covered. I force Amy back. She hits that edge and she knows she can't step off of it. She pushes back. Amy's trying to push me against the edge. I know that she's trying to push me. I turn and I throw. The sideways one on the edge is fantastic. I've got Amy forced to go this way. I know she can't go out. She can only follow the edge. I step in front. And of course the same thing back with the other way. The circle one, again we can do anywhere on the mat, but on the edge it's really good. Amy's got me forced here against the edge. I can't go back. I'm going to cut that angle to here. So they can all be done anywhere, but the edge is a brilliant way there's almost a whole gameplay of being able to use that edge to force your partner. What I want to make sure is it doesn't matter where Amy steps, it's never off her choice. It's always me saying to her, you don't have a choice, you have to stand there because I've got this blocked. Rather than, we never want a scenario that's 50-50. So we're going to leave it there. Make sure that for those all those positions, you've got at least one set of uchi-komi out, if not 3 or 4 sets. If you're covering multiple seoinage attacks, get one out for each. Avoid doing too many different throws. The seoinage one's good because it's all using the same first step, but avoid doing a set of seoinage, and then a set of uchimata, and then a set of osotogari. Keep drilling one and become really proficient with the feet there. If you're lucky enough to have a partner at home, my advice would be to go through each of those movements we've done again, static, forward and backwards, sideways, circles, and 90 degrees, and I'd look to do 3 to 5 throws on each of those positions, making sure you've got mats, obviously. So finish off with your throws if you've got them. If you've got any questions, let us know as always, but concentrate on your feet, concentrate on being light, and yeah, we'll keep building on that and we'll catch you again for our next lesson.